Hello. Hello. And welcome back to the latest and greatest episode of Talk Data to Me. So I'm going to be honest, I'm a little under the weather today, but hey, consistency is discipline and discipline builds power. So this week we're going to keep it super short and simple. One headline, one black tech pioneer, and one control-alt-dream reflection. Now let's get into it. AI is replacing managers, not just workers. AI is no longer just automating tasks. It's starting to replace decision-making roles inside companies. Now we're seeing companies use AI systems to evaluate employee performance, generate strategic recommendations, approve workflows, optimize budgets that used to be done by management. And this shift matters because it's not just about job loss. It's about where power moves. Now, when AI absorbs management layers, fewer humans sit between executives and labor, decisions become more data-driven, and accountability becomes a little bit more blurry. Now, if an AI system makes a harmful decision, who's responsible? Now, this is the quiet transformation that's happening right now. AI isn't just speeding up work, it's reshaping corporate power structures. And whenever power shifts, we need to pay attention. Now, this week's Black History Month spotlight goes to none other than Katherine Johnson. Now, Katherine Johnson was a mathematician at NASA. She calculated the orbital mechanics that allowed John Glenn to successfully orbit Earth. Now, let me simplify that. Before computers were trusted, NASA trusted her math. How brilliant her mind had to have been in order for NASA to trust her brain, man. Now, her calculations were critical to space missions, trajectory, accuracy, try to say that 5 times fast, re-entry timing. And without her precision, missions could have failed. Wow, what a weight, huh? And here's why that matters for today. We talk about AI, automation, and advanced systems. But before advanced computers, there were human minds doing complex calculations by hand. Now, Black excellence in tech didn't start with Silicon Valley. It helped launch astronauts into space. So let's close this out because I'm already sniffing honey and it's bad. So we're going to control. We're going to pause. We're going to do the opposite of what that is, right? Natural inclination of humanists when things are going crazy and haywire. We want to take control of things. But as I'm saying, and as I've learned in my life personally, pausing is always necessary. Now, if AI is starting to make decisions inside companies, who programs the logic? Who defines what quote-unquote efficient means? Obviously, it would be the CEO and the person designing the AI, right? Which would be in favor of the CEO. Now, alt. Let's reimagine. What would leadership look like if technology amplified empathy instead of just productivity? What if AI systems were trained to optimize well-being, equity, access, instead of just profit margins? Now, this is where there's a silver lining with an AI, right? I am an entrepreneur, and yes, I can program my AI agent to do whatever I want it to do. But ideally, I would want to program my AI to do things that are ultimately in my best interest. And my interest does include the values that I hold on a personal level and a professional level. But I'm just one person. Now imagine if other people thought this way. that were involved with AI. How impactful that would be, instead of just saying, ooh, AI bad, holy water, right? Instead of taking that approach, in integrating AI into your workflow, you have the power. You have more of the power than you think you do. And this is why I'm gonna stand on this hill tall and strong and encourage people. The door is wide open. The possibilities are endless. Yes, it can go left, and it can go all the way left, and it can get really bad if it goes left. But what if it goes right? And the potential for it going right is because people with good morals, or morals that are in service of the best interests of themselves and of people, are involved in this space. Yes, they don't want to implement regulations, and they don't want to set stringent policies on AI as of yet, because they're figuring out how things go. As an entrepreneur, I 1000% get that, right? You want to pigeonhole yourself into one way, and you're still learning your workflow, or you're still figuring out what systems work. You're still trying to figure out what product works best. We all do that, and we're just seeing it happen on a grander scale. But it's still the same principle. It's still the same idea. Now, here's the thing. When you dream, we build. Imagine a future where black technologists lead AI ethics boards. Communities help shape digital infrastructure. Technology expands freedom, not just efficiency. The future isn't automatic. It's designed. And the question isn't whether AI will shape society. The question is, who shapes AI? I once heard somebody say the problem with AI is because God is not in AI. No, God is not in any industry, in any technology, in anything. But you know what? If you believe in a higher power, guess who that higher power is affecting? The person who can now affect AI. And that's how you have to look at it. You can choose to bring your God or whatever deity you pray to into what it is that you do. You can choose not to. The choice is solely up to you. But just imagine a world where AI, instead of allowing people whose sole purpose is just money, and there's nothing wrong with money, right? But whose sole purpose is just to make money. The bottom line is the only concern. The bottom line is the only thing that matters. That's the sole purpose of it. The sole purpose. Imagine if you, like I said, you have people who are working with AI and building AI based off of good and healthy values. And they're choosing to run business that way. They're choosing to run their AI that way. Just imagine how good and great that would be. Now, that's it for this week. Short, focused, to the point. I didn't want to do anything long and drawn out. Like I said, I'm not really feeling the greatest, but I'm here. Now, if you're building, thinking, questioning, please keep going. And if you made it this far, I want you to comment forward, because that's the only movement we need to be focused on, right? Now, this has been Talk Data to me. Control to pause, Alt to reimagine, and dream to build. You shall hear me next week, hopefully with a voice that sounds better than this one. At least I don't sound like a man again. Until next time.